This video is about how to add your baby as a lap infant to your flight reservation. We just spent 3 weeks in Japan with our 6-month-old baby, and I'm here to tell you how we added our baby as a lap infant to our flight reservation. This is part 2 of a 4-part series about flying with a baby, so be sure to check out the last video and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series. I also have a couple tips that I'm saving for the end, so be sure to stick around so you don't miss those. Here I'm going to show you an example of how I booked my flight with a lap infant. This is totally an example, but let's do Vancouver to Tokyo for these 2 weeks. So for travelers, we'll do 1 adult, and then if you go down, you can see infants on lap, and this is where we add one. So now it's 2 travelers, and let's find some flights. And since this is an example, let's make it easy, and we'll do this basic economy round trip. And then for the return flight, let's do this cheaper one. Okay, so for traveler 1, let me just put in some information. Disclaimer, this is not my information. And then for lap infant, we'll need to add their name. And a lap infant needs to be less than 2 years old. Okay, and that's it for that. So let's continue. We don't need these extra things, so let's continue to seats. This flight had a layover, so for the first leg, I'll choose the aisle because I like having access to get out easily. Okay, next flight. This is where you want to contact the airline to find out which seats qualify for the free bassinet. Check out my last video where I explain how to get the free bassinet for the airplane. But for now, I'll choose this seat. So see, the seat costs an extra $262, but I will need it for the bassinet, so I'll choose it. I'm going to choose the same seats for the way back. So here we can see the cost breakdown. So the adult has certain fees and the lap infant has fees. But since we are booking the lap infant during the booking process, the fees are already being paid, which is why I love having this as an option. Also, because we added our lap infant during the booking process, he had his own ticket. This ticket was scanned before security and when we boarded our flight. The whole process was very straightforward and easy. And as promised, here are some tips for taking a flight with a baby. Tip number 1 is that you generally get to board early with children under 2, and I recommend doing this because it gives you some extra time to get settled into your seat. Tip number 2 is to keep snacks, blankets, and toys accessible. Once the flight's in the air, you'll be able to access your carry-on bag. Tip number 3 is that for takeoff and landing, you'll want to try to feed the baby by nursing or a bottle to help with their ear pressure. I used my sarong as a nursing cover. So as you can see, adding a lap infant is very easy. This was for United Airlines, and they allowed me to add my lap infant during the booking process, which ensured that any taxes or fees were already paid. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it gave you some insight into how to add a lap infant to your flight reservation and what to expect. And remember, this is part 2 of a 4-part series about flying with a baby, so be sure to check out the rest of the videos. I'll have more videos coming out about our trip to Japan with our 6-month-old baby, so subscribe to be notified when those come out. And until next time, stay adventurous.